Peace, everybody. I had a little camera difficulty. I don't know what's up with my cameras. All of a sudden, it's working fine. It's going to show start tripping. I had to reset everything. I have another camera, but it doesn't give me the background that I need, the shot that I need. Oh, get my camera right. So how y'all doing? Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to everybody. Happy Tuesday, Corinne. Hop along. Happy Tuesday. And whoever else is out there. Y'all see the title of the show. What is the IRS Form 1099? I think y'all should know what that is. Because there's my camera again going out on me. As soon as I said 1099, it goes out. I've never had problems with my cameras before. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a short pause and switch out my laptop. And I will be right back. So what I'm going to do is maybe I could play I could play something that take a while. Let's see. Maybe it's this new laptop. Maybe it's that. If it ain't that, then we know it's something else. It's got a brand new state-of-the-art laptop. Let's do this one. This should give me enough time.
Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio. This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.
Boom. Here we go. All right. Once again, driver's license webinar 2. Thanks for tuning in. And you guys are gonna get a lot of information. I'm gonna go over some little bit of history on why I did another webinar. And then we're just gonna be mainly dealing with the templates, what to give them, how to deal with the opposition, because always there's some type of opposition. And remember, when you're getting opposition, check your attitude, because a lot of opposition, most of the opposition comes from your perception of the people you're dealing with. In this community, in this space, a lot of people have a negative look at the people in government. And you have to remember, these people are doing a job. They went to school. They believe they're doing something right in their mind, from their world perception. That's what they think. So if you come at them with hostilities, you're going to be met back with hostilities. Even if you have that thought in your mind, it could possibly get you rejected. Yes, some places are tougher than others, but remember, you are the creator of all things you are experiencing, and take responsibility for that. All right. I know on the screen you guys see my Department of State authenticated passport application. Where was I? All right. This process, I would like for everyone, a few of you, I know you already done my passport process. I don't know if everybody's done it, but this is to be done after you do the passport process, if you can. Some of you guys got issues with the IRS, got issues with child support that will not allow you to get a passport until that is rectified. So one of the documents you're going to be submitting is your authenticated copy of your passport application, along with the other stuff I'm going to show you. So that's what I'm adding to it. Plus, I changed the language in some of the documents, and I'm also adding years ago we talked about the injunction. So that has been changed. It's kind of, you can still look at it like an injunction, but that is going to be an option you can include with submitting your paperwork. All right. Someone said they're waiting for 2 months for the authentication. Yes, authentication takes a while. Sometimes they call you, and if you don't answer, they'll send you a letter. But it took me 3-4 months to get mine back, and COVID has not been helping that situation out at all. All right, so let's go to close the screen out. Let's go here. I'm gonna share the screen in a minute. As soon as all right. Every state, well, I won't say every. Yes, Michael, you have to request.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.
All right, let's go over here. Share the screen. It's my camera. Mike, turn this music down. Sorry about that, but for some reason my camera's working fine all day. As soon as I start a broadcast, it started acting up. These I'm gonna have to get off this wireless. I got another camera I need to set up. They're wireless cameras, so they can be affected somehow. But it's coincidence. It only happens when I'm about to do my broadcast, which is strange. But anyway, so y'all see the title. What is the IRS Form 1099? I feel like it's time to do that. I did a brief video the other day on it, and it's time to do it again. Like, really go in on it. Like, people are,
peace to the God.
Sorry. People are still I guess there's new people coming into the movement, and they listen to people telling them that they could take a 1099, sign some stuff on the back of it, fill it out, and just send it to the IRS. Yeah, and somehow they're gonna get their bills paid off. In my experience, in the 7, 8 years that I've been exposed to this information, I've never seen it work that way. I've never seen where you could just take a 1099, mail it in, and your bills are magically disappearing. Now, I know some of you see little videos or little clips people get on Facebook, and they'll show a screenshot showing that their bills are paid 21,000. I see somebody, they do ridiculous amounts, 21,000. My bills are paid in full. Let me help y'all understand what you're actually looking at. What happens is people are creating these money orders or negotiable instruments, and they're just mailing it into the regular payment center. So those people just process payments. So they take that, process it like it's a check or whatever, and eventually it kicks back. Eventually, however long it takes, they'll get a kickback, and what they will never do is get back on YouTube or Facebook and tell you, hey, it kicked back. I can tell you, I've seen it. I've tried that method before, and yeah, you get a credit for lasts for 2-3 weeks, and then it comes back. You know, so I try not to talk to people even about my experience, because some strange things did happen even in my experience with it that gave me some clue that there may be something to it, but I just didn't have it all. Maybe. But I decided my time is better served in making money, creating wealth, like work. People pay me for my services or whatever I do, and I go pay my bills. Just pay it. Or in the other way that I have in my private membership, I show you how do you still work, you pay your bills, and then you kind of recoup what you paid throughout the year, the proper way, through taxes, through a trust. And when I pull up the 1099, MISC, or the NEC, it'll show you what individuals or entities qualify to process the 1099. See, there's a way to do it, like around it, like a back door way to do it. I wouldn't even call it back door. It's the proper way to do it. It's the way that I see that is being done. And there's no issues with it. There's no one getting in trouble. There's no one ignoring what you're mailing in. And it's strictly done the way the IRS tells you to do it. The IRS tells you how to write off your bills. See, what they're trying to teach in these other groups is that you can discharge your social, your social, you got this account, you could discharge, you could do this, and it sounds good. It always sounds good to the broke people. It sounds good to people who don't have the money to pay their bills, or people who just have that get something for nothing mentality. It always sounds good to, I could just run up a bunch of debt and just not pay it. Sounds good to a person who doesn't want to pay their bills. Awesome. But I tell you, like I said, 8 years of being exposed to the information, I have yet to see anybody prove definitively that it works that way. And every time I do a broadcast or post a video on this, someone come in, yeah, it works, I did it, but they never offer any proof. And then when hey, where's your proof? I never hear from them. See, those are people that's throwing false information out. So I feel like if you have proof of something that you say works, you should be able to show it. You should be able to give it, hey, here, this is what I did. It should be no ambiguity about it, any mystery about it. It should have shown itself. And I've done many of seminars, and people will bring that up, and I said, well, show me proof, and then they get quiet. Oh, they'll come up, hey, this works, this. I said, okay, where did you get that information from? And how did you get your bills paid this way? Never happens. Zero. Even, let me go back to, I work with individuals who said they did it. They never showed me proof that they did it. They were just saying they did it. I never saw it. Whenever the time to even offer a proof, never was showed or revealed. Why? Why is that? Why is that? Why is there so much mystery around this 1099 and elusiveness of actually seeing proof? You know, many people are exposed to this. Why is it such a mystery? Why is it so hard to get a hold of the true information? I'll tell you why. Because there's no truth in it at all. There's no truth. Here's the other thing. I remember last year, same time, this time last year, people were going hard, video after video, doing class, doing videos almost every day. Everybody was on it. Boom, boom, boom. They not, last video they did was 3-4 months ago, last year or earlier this year. And it ain't on 1099s anymore. Now, when I did a little video on that same group saying, hey, you know, I think they have a good heart, and eventually they're going to fade out and they're going to stop talking about this. And I got a lot of hate responses. Oh, you're mad because it didn't work for you. Oh, you're not being positive. You're being negative. I laugh because I sit back and I just wait. Time always tells the truth. They're not talking about that no more. They're not even, we're still waiting. The IRS is this. They blame it on the IRS. It ain't the IRS fault. It's your fault because you believe that nonsense. You believe these people that all of a sudden, and then they were teaching from a point of view they hadn't even completed their process. They haven't done it. I told you, everything I teach comes from a point of application and where I've worked through this thing and seen the results. Here it is right here. Here's let me expose this one here. Man, you know people ain't trying to give that information for nothing. Listen. They're not trying to give it for nothing. They're giving it for nothing because it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing to it. I've been exposed to that information upside down, sideways, around and around and around. I promise you, I got every technique there is in my archives. I got it. Before I even started exposing the people that I know and work with to the recruitment process, I vetted it for almost 3, close to 4 years before I even said, okay, I'm going to introduce this. And when I saw proof that it was working, and we got proof, more than a handful. So the people in that side, see, this is, here's another idiot. And you are GTENT. You're an idiot. It didn't work for you. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for thousands of other people that tried it either. The same people doing over there. It ain't working for them either. They ain't showing no proof. If it worked for you, since you so much supporting it, GTENT, where's your proof? Watch, y'all. Watch. Let's see. Yes, you are, for trying to support something you got no proof on. See, see, when they can't come in and get what they want to hear, they want to try to, it didn't work. Yeah, I did. I called you an idiot because only idiots to sit there and believe they're going to get something for nothing. Yes, that's crazy. Today, the tongue is loose today. I'm tired of babysitting y'all with y'all nonsense. Instead of going out there and working for what you want to do and build wealth, real wealth, y'all sitting around here looking around for easy get rich, get quick schemes. This is not what I support. Right. Right. That's right, disciple. How has it worked for you? How has it worked for you? You asking the questions. You doing you think you're soft, low key, dissenting on my information, what I'm talking about. You think I'm gonna let that slip by? You mean it didn't work for you? That low key passive aggressive move? See, I'm not passive aggressive. I'm aggressive. I'm aggressive. And everybody in the chat is calling you out. Where's your proof? Here's another one asking you the same question. Where is it? You worried about the word that I use, the word idiot. Just make me a fool and show me your proof. And then I'll apologize. But until then, you get no apology. Hey, if I keep talking back and forth to him, then I become the idiot like him. Let's just remove him out of here. Let's go back to what we were talking about. Like I said, I've done I've done all of that. The back of the social, tried to go online and use the account numbers and pay stuff off. I've done it all. I just haven't told y'all I've done it all. I just tell you it don't work at all. And everybody that tried it the same way, it didn't work for them either. And everybody that kind of present me the information, it didn't work for them. Well, okay, show me the proof. Just like GT. Where's the receipts? Where's your receipts to what you talk about? That's why I don't support discharge. What I support is set up a trust, pay all your bills with your trust, and then process your 1099s at the beginning of the year when it's required before the deadlines. Get your 1099s in. Then later on, do the tax return. Just like a normal business. Getting your write-offs and recouping back what you put out in those expenses all year long. It's just a simple process. And the IRS actually tells y'all exactly how to do it. But here's the problem. Nobody reads the instructions. They read the instructions of these guys making videos. They listen to those instructions. Well, how are you going to listen to somebody who don't work for the very people that do it? How do you listen to someone who doesn't work for them? Who say this is where you do it, and everything they're telling you is completely outside of how the rules say you're supposed to do it. Let's pull up the 1099 instruction. Let's share the screen. Share. Here's the 1099. This is the 1099 MISC, miscellaneous, and NEC. And these, the MISC and the NAC kind of work work one and the same, really, right? And it tells you how to fill it out right there, who must file, reminders who must file, corrected, voided returns, everything. What you can actually write off. Here's number one is rents. So Let's start with number one. So you have a trust and you rent a place with your trust. There you go. You write that off. The problem we having, why we have issues with getting these bills properly written off, is because how you're structured, how you're operating. You're operating solely out of your social. And that number right there is going to kill you every time. You're not going to get the benefits of write-offs and credits like you would a trust. You're not going to get that. And other income payments is box 3, right? So what does that mean? You pay people throughout the year to do things. Like, say if you contracted someone to work on your home. There it is. Other income payments. Generally, the cash paid from a notional principal contract to an injury, partnership, or estate. Same thing, goes in box 3. Any fishing boat proceeds, if you got a fishing boat. Medical and healthcare payments. So say if you got you have your own health insurance or whatever, and you're making it, those payments through your trust. You can write that up. That all goes on here. If you paid an attorney. All right. Now, let's read trade or business reporting only. Report on 1099 MIC only when payments are made in the course of your trade or business. Personal payments are not reportable. See, they're telling you. Social Security number payments are not reportable. You are engaged in trade or business if you operate for gain or profit. Do you operate for gain? I think most people operate for gain or profit. However, nonprofit organizations are considered to be engaged in the trade or business and are subject to these reporting requirements. So if you have a church and you're in trade or business, you can use this form as well. Other organizations subject to these reporting requirements include trust of qualified pensions or profit sharing plans of employers, certain organizations exempt from tax under 501c C or D, farmers cooperatives that are exempt from tax under 521. Payments by federal, state, local government agency are also reportable. So there you go. That's the 1099. So let's see the infamous, the one that let's stop sharing for a second. Let me pull up a 1099A. 1099A instructions. Let's do 1099 penalties, but not 1099 penalties. Let's look at that. See, this is where a lot of people, reason why they come after you, because you guys are reporting. Let's see. Let me get the right one here. 1099 late reporting, late filing penalty. Okay. Let's go straight. They got a bunch of, but those are interest penalties, due dates. Let's see if this will give it to me. Well, here it is right here. I'm going to show you this, but I wanted to show y'all the penalties for filing these forms late. They could be up to like 5,000. Let's share the screen here. Here it is. This was this year's filing deadline due to the IRS, February 28th, February 28th, February 28th. Due to the recipient, January 31st. January 31st, and that's for 1099As. 1099Bs, that's, bank accounts and stuff. February 15th, due by 28th. 1099Cs, January 31 to the recipient, February 28th to the IRS. Those dividends and interest, we don't deal with that. 1099Ks, the NECs, January 31st and February 31st to the IRS. Okay? So, and it shows you what your minimum amounts are, $600 or more. All amounts. 1099 all amounts, 1099Bs all amounts. So now when you watch these videos, they don't tell you that you have to have these in there by a certain time. They're doing these videos all year long. Send this here, send this there, send this there. Straight disregard for what the IRS says you have to have these in for. Now, if you're sending 1099s outside of the time frame that they say you need to have it in that by, automatically when they get that paperwork, they're gonna know that you're probably one of these, what they would call a sovereign citizen. And look at the top here. Say a person engaged in trade and business, including corporation, partnership, individual, estate, and trust, who makes reportable transactions during the calendar year, must file information returns, report those transactions to the IRS. And actually here, it broadened the scope of who can say a person engaged in trade and business. We are always engaged in trade or business. But in order to properly get remedy or results from this, you have to follow these rules. And if you don't follow the rules, guess what? Penalties. I'm trying to find the one where it reads off how the penalties for these forms. 1099 late filing. Let's see if this will give it to me. So they're showing the low amounts here. They're saying that the penalties could be, depending on how many you're sending, these are some of the penalties, but there's a bigger penalty here that's not here. It's like $585,000. Usually when I see people doing this and they get in trouble with the IRS and they come back with what you call a frivolous filing, they get that's $5,000 per frivolous filing. Then they get hit with like $300,000 to $500,000 worth of penalties, and now you're in debt. Let's see the 1099A instructions. That's the big one, and the 1099Cs are the one that they love to teach on this one. Let's see, is this the instruction? What's new? I don't want NC. They're talking about the C's. It says here, file form 1099 acquisition and abandonment of secured property for each borrower if you lend money in connection with your trade or business, and in full or partial satisfaction of the debt. You acquire an interest in the property that is security for the debt, or you have reason to know that the property has been abandoned. You need not be in business of lending money to be subject to this reporting requirement. So that right there is a mouthful. It says you do not need to be in the business of lending money to be subject to these filing requirements. Now, I'm going to tell you, 1099As is a very important part of you get a mortgage and getting it paid off. See, there is no going in and filling out this form ahead of time. You have to create the debt first. You have to create the security first by initiating the transaction, initiating the mortgage, and then the next filing year, you process it. See, what they're teaching people to go ahead of time before they even get the house, they want to do this paperwork and then move, and they're supposed to process this and you move in the house. It'll never happen that way. Yes, you're going to have your credit straight. You're going to have to buy the house exactly how you would normally buy it, then turn around and do your 1099A process after the fact, after the debt is created. There's no such thing. We got people, I've seen people who can't even afford to live where they're living now, trying to go out and get $500,000 houses with this 1099 process. Yeah, for real. For real. Somebody said proof where all of those people who's gotten it. Actually, I got people on my. I don't have to tell you where the proof is. Discipleship Ministry could tell you straight up. He's one of my people in my group. He could tell you where. You think I'm gonna put it up on here on YouTube? Only people that's part of my exclusive premium membership get to see that. That's why I can sit here and talk so bold. See, I could show proof, but it'll never come up here on YouTube. I'll tell you that much. Private. Yes, I got many copies of checks, proof. But anyway, yes, I've had people this year and last year, 3 different people got their mortgages paid off. Just by that 1099, I just kind of glanced over and told you guys about. Right there. Being freed from the bondage of debt. Doing it the proper way. The proper way. Not do any fancy, I'm going to go in and just go get this. I don't know. They came up with some fancy term called you're going to get funded. Someone told them do this, and then they're going to get the house, and you can only do so many houses a year. Nobody got a house yet that way. No, you have to go in. you have to go in, and you got to create the debt. How are you going to what they call discharge something before you even set it up or even created the debt? I think it's kind of crazy and silly for people to even believe it even could work that way. But when you're in a situation where you don't have a lot of money and you're looking for something for nothing, you'll believe stuff like that. Peace, GJB Thunder. See, on here, I don't have to say I have proof. There's people on here that have actually seen the proof and been privy to the meetings where the proof was there. Okay. All right. So we talked the 1099A, 1099C. If Did I take the screen away? Let me share the screen again. Hey, by the way, what I'm drinking here is spring water, cucumbers, and with a little bit of salt. Yeah, I know y'all need a little bit of salt in y'all fluids, like Himalayan salt, because that salt helps your body conduct the electricity throughout your body. What's the first thing they do when you get sick or go to the emergency room? They hook you up with a saline solution. And all of a sudden you feel better. You feel woke. You feel light. Because why? Some of us so dehydrated and poor quality drinking water, the electricity in our body is not being conducted properly. So some Himalayan salt, sea salt, whatever, in your water, and that helps the body work properly. So if in the same calendar year you cancel a debt of $600 more in connection with the foreclosure or abandonment of secured property, it is not necessary to file both Form 1099A and Form 1099C. Cancellation of debt for the same debtor, you may file Form 1099C only. You would meet your Form 1099A filing requirement for the debtor by completing boxes 4, 5, 7 on Form 1099C. However, if you file both Forms 1099A and 1099C, do not complete boxes 4, 5, and 7 on Form 1099C. Property means any real property such as personal residence, any intangible property, intangible personal property except the following. No reporting is required for tangible personal property such as a car, held only for personal use. However, you must file 1099A if the property is totally or partly held for use in the trade or business or for investment. So it's saying you need to file a 1099A if the property is totally or partly held for use in the trade or business. Remember, you're always in trade or business. You're always in commerce or for investment. No reporting is required if the property securing the loan is located outside the United States and the borrower has furnished the lender a statement under penalties of perjury that the borrower is an exempt foreign person unless the lender knows the statement is false or true. Who must file? In addition to the general rules specified above, the following rules apply. Multiple owners of a single loan. If there are multiple owners of undivided interest in a single loan, such as in pools, fixed investment trust, or other similar arrangements, the trustee and record owner or pension acting in a similar capacity must file 1099A on behalf of the owners of beneficial interest for or participations. In this case, only one form for each borrower must be filed on behalf of all owners with respect to the loan. Similarly, for bond issues, only the trustee or similar persons is required to report. Then they say governmental unit, subsequent holder. A subsequent holder of a loan is treated as a lender and is required to report events occurring after the loan is transferred to the new holder. Multiple lenders. If more than one person lends money secured for property and one lender forecloses or otherwise acquires an interest in the property and the sale or other acquisition terminates, reduces, or otherwise impairs the other lender's security interest in the property, other lenders must file Form 1099A for each of their loans. For example, if a first trust holder forecloses on a building and the second trust holder knows or has reason to know of such foreclosure, the second trust holder must file Form 1099A for the second trust, even though no part of the second trust was satisfied by the proceeds of foreclosure sale. Now, how many times people have been foreclosed, they fill this out, and then the IRS try to treat that as income? And you don't even have a house anymore. Why did that happen? I'll tell you why. Because you didn't do your 1099A to offset it. See, that's offset. You did not do your 1099. Look, did you see how it read there? Let's read it again. If more than one person lends money secured by property and one lender forecloses or otherwise acquires an interest in the property and the sale or other acquisition terminates, reduces, or otherwise impairs the other lender's security interest in the property, the other lender must file Form 1099 for each of their loans. Now, y'all realize how this money is created, right? Through your signature. And that's true. Modern money mechanics explain that to you. Your signature creates the debt. Your signature creates this security interest, this paper. Okay, let's go to abandonment. See, just reading the instructions tells you exactly what's going on and what you need to do. If you have the thought process, so if you have the thought process to understand what they're talking about, you see, if you understand. Let's go to abandonment occurs when the objective facts and circumstances indicate that the borrower intended to and has permanently discarded property from use. You have reasons to know of the abandonment, and based on all the facts and circumstances concerning the status of the property, you will be deemed. Remind me, I have to talk something about cancellation of debt too. You will be deemed to know all the information that would have been discovered through a reasonable inquiry when, in the ordinary course of business, you become aware or should become aware of circumstances indicating that the property has been abandoned. If you expect to commence a foreclosure, execution, or similar sale within 3 months of the date, you had reason to know that the property was abandoned. Reporting is required as of the date you acquire an interest in the property or the third party purchases the property at such sale. If you expect to, but do not commence such action within 3 months, the reporting requirement arises at the end of the 3 months period. Statements to borrowers. If you are required to file Form 1099-A, you must provide a statement to the borrower. Furnish a copy of Form 1099-A or acceptable substitute statement to each borrower. For more information about the requirement to furnish a statement to the borrower, see Part M in the 2021 General Instructions for certain information returns. And it goes on. The date of acquisition, knowledge of abandonment, balance of principal outstanding, reserved for future use. So let's give you an example. Say if you get a 1099-C, which is a cancellation of debt, right? And you do nothing with it, it's going to look like income to you because you didn't respond to that 1099-A by simply doing your own and stating the facts of who really is the borrower and the lender. You have to record. See, for every debit, there's got to be a credit. It has to balance. And when there's no balance, there's someone else that's out there that's liable. You understand? All right. So that was 1099-A, 1099, NEC, MISC, and A's and C's. And the A's and C's is the ones that you hear about the most through these groups that tell you that you can just fill it out, send it in, and then it'll get taken care of. So you cannot get any remedy from it if you don't have a return that supports it. 1099s are just information returns, telling the IRS who did what, when, how, and where. That's it. It doesn't process anything. It doesn't make anything happen. What makes the things happen is when the return that goes in with it, like a 1041, goes in with it to calculate all the numbers. So how, if I'm just sending in a 1099-A or whatever in, and I don't have the return to accompany it, nothing, you're not going to get anything. That's why these people are not getting anything, because they don't have anything, the actual tax return statement to go with it. They don't have that. So think about it, when you just did your regular tax return, you got your W-2s from the employer, which is almost like a 1099, but just for people with socials, that showed how much you made throughout the year. If you just submitted that, what happens? Nothing. You have to do a 1040 to go with it. And then it says, okay, this is what you made, these are your credits, and this is your possible tax liability or tax credit or refund. See, just common sense tells you those ways will never work. Common sense. I have a book around here, someone called Give Yourself Credit, where the guy was teaching that 1099As and how to fill it out and just do this. I did exactly what that book said. Nothing happened. Then for doing that, what that book said, I went to, man, I sit down. You know what? I'll share these stories with my people in the private, the things that I actually did. Because I never really broke it down, everything that I tried. My premium members, the people that trust and have faith in what I'm teaching, they'll hear those stories. But I tell you, I can tell you generally, I've tried it all. There's no method you can put in front of me that I have not seen. You see? So anyway, it's 8:07. I touched on what, 3 different forms or 4? Then you got the OID. That's another one. Oh, that one, shoot, you messed that one right there is the wickedest of them all. I've seen that one right there get more people in trouble than any other form. The other ones, they just ignore you for the most part. But that 1099 OID gets them to come a knocking. So if you're in part of a group and they don't know what they're doing, you got to know what you're doing with the 1099 OIDs. Charles Bryan says, do I have a webinar on trust? Yes, I got plenty of them. They're on my website. All over the place. Go look for it. C. King Bay says he's in the membership and I seen and have proof. See, I don't have to tell you. Me telling you, my people tell you. See, the other people, they ain't got no people. Them people still looking for results over there. And the one guy that's teaching it, I mean, y'all letting people living in trailer parks telling y'all how y'all can write off stuff. And I'm like, if you could do all of this, why are you still living in the trailer park? I don't get it. Maybe that's just what he aspired to. That's the biggest thing he wants is a trailer park. I mean, I could get free cars, houses, and I'm living in a trailer park. That's as much as I aspire to. And then the ones that teach you, and then you look and they got teeth missing. Telling you, you can do this. Hey, take this and do this. Somebody was teaching something one time, and I'm looking at his mouth. It was distracting me. I'm like, you got all this knowledge about this, but you haven't used any of this knowledge to go to the dentist and replace some of them teeth? See, that's what I'm talking. And this is a pattern. Like when I first came in, it was a guy teaching it. This girl had this guy on. He was talking about you can go black card, write a check to in Walmart and this and do all of this. The man was homeless. Come to find out he was homeless. Looking for attention. I forgot the dude's name. There was another dude, UCC guru, living out in a trailer park in Tennessee. But these are the people we have faith in. This is what we aspire. And the reason why this stuff it resonated with me. And then I had to check myself. Akeem, you dealing with a broke mentality. I had to come to that realization. I had to kind of bang myself. You're looking for something for nothing. You know you got to work for everything. Now I'm on this information. I'm making over 6 figures where I was working at for Time Warner. And I'm sitting up here trying to get free cars and all that. And I'm like, I stressed myself out so bad doing that discharge. I tried that discharge probably for a straight year and a half before the God in me spoke and said, what the hell are you doing? You better than this? And then maybe a year and a half later, then I started to recognize the fraud about it all. And I said, wait a minute. person who told me about this and said it was absolute in science, they never showed me proof. I started connecting dots. And I realized I bought the bridge. I bought into the bridge. I invested in the bridge. Yeah. And I said, Akeem, I changed. I actually did a show and came back and I actually apologized. You know, hey, I promoted and I helped push these crazy teachings without no real proof. You see what I'm saying? Said I tried, but yeah, I know DJB. You've been down for a while. He said I tried most of those processes out there also. He got thumbs down. Right. DJB, he got his money back from the IRS. I think they try to come at him again with I got on my journey in a tight spot, but I accept the truth, and by doing so, I found the truth. Thanks to you, my brother. Thank you. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is comedy hour right now, dude. When I look back on everybody that was trying to promote the discharge to me, and I looked past what they were saying, and I looked at their background, I looked at where they were. These people were driving up these busted up cars, straight struggling. And I'm not, listening. I'm not putting people down because you got a busted up car. If that's what you can afford, cool. That's you. But what I'm saying is they're teaching me these prosperity things that I can have all of these things for free. Well, you know all this information. Why are you not making use of it? Like, namely, invest in a dentist, invest in fixing your car. Why? Because poverty mindset, broke mindset people never could see. They never could see that that their lifestyle don't represent the stuff they're talking about. Me, I mean, I had at the time I got involved with it, I owned several trucks. I owned a couple of trucks. I probably owned about 4, 5 cars titled to me. So actually, I still own some of those cars for the most part. But on the home, I was living good. I wasn't struggling for anything. But what got me, why I got into the information, because there were some things that I was learning that started to make sense that I went through. You know, being a human resources, not human resources, but I was a manager for some couple of places where I did the hiring. And, I saw certain funny things going on that I didn't really understand. And then by getting into this information, I connected the dots, like the whole W-4 situation, how that works. You see how y'all not supposed to be filling that out. Y'all don't have to fill it out, but they won't give you a job if you don't, which is also illegal. That's another topic. I actually made a whole video, like a real in-depth video. I've done like shows on it over the years, but I've recorded probably almost a year ago an in-depth video about how the W-4 form is illegal, how they're presenting it, and in this video I actually talk about how to get remedy from it, meaning how you can go and sue your employer for forcing you to fill that form out. But for some reason, I just made it. And then the spirit said, don't release it. It's going to get released. But it's there. It's just sitting there waiting to be released. It's going to come a time. Discipleship said, when I see he had no teeth, I said, he got no money. In no time for me. Corinne said, "You helped me with my passport process after I naturalized, and you helped me to get out, so I have the proof as well." Right, and she wasn't born in this country and naturalized in as a U.S. citizen and was still able to get passport process the way I teach. You know what? I've helped many people from other countries. When I first started teaching the passport process, I didn't know it would work for people who came from other countries because I only was dealing with us, people born here. But when I tried it for one person and it worked, and it's been working, I have never had a person born in another country who naturalized in who was not able to get their passport as a national. They never give them any props. Now they give y'all so-called U.S. citizens born here problems. They've had some people have gotten problems, and most of the problems come from either IRS debts or um the other one, child support. That's what this webinar that I'm about to do at the end of the month is going to show you how to navigate that one. Do y'all understand that's a violation of your due process when someone just says you owe them money and don't allow them to leave the country without a hearing or of such, a chance to dispute it in a court? Yeah, we're going to talk about that in that webinar. Somebody said, yeah, the Dave guy. It was 8:18. I'm not reading any more 1099s stuff. Y'all, if anybody listening, y'all want to go mess with that, go mess with it and waste your time. But if you really want to know how to do it right and get it done correctly without problems, without issues correctly, get those mortgages paid off, get you all the other benefits that go with it, premium membership, akimel.com. It's for real. All the videos, I think we probably got like 70 videos in there. I got to upload the last couple of meetings. Sorry, fellas, that I didn't get to do that yet. Oh, JD, man, what's up? I heard from you in a minute. How you doing, brother? I hope your trucking company doing well. We maintaining. We maintaining. We out there. Yeah, he's been around for a long, long time. Brother doing real good for himself. All right. Well, it's 8:20. I got other things that I must get to at this time. Let me see. What's this last comment? Good. I'm good to hear. You're doing great. Out there doing that commerce. See, that's another proof right there. See, I can tell y'all got proof, but I got people on here that said they got help from me. Many forms, from issues with the court system, child support, passport, even the 1099s. People are being freed. All right. I've seen people a couple of people in the group, they got a check and didn't even have the bank account open yet to even put the check in. Of course, we teach that you get that taken care of ahead of time, but sometimes people just don't follow things A to Z. They go A, then C, then B, then D, then E, then A, back to A. That's just how people do. You can't control people. But anyway, I'm out of here. I didn't do any preaching tonight. Yes. Tonight was a glove. Somebody said, yeah, I saw it. I saw you got a call with me tomorrow on nationality. We'll talk tomorrow. I look forward to that. Make sure you get on the Zoom call so we can have a face-to-face meeting. Yes, I do my consultations by Zoom. We can either do a face-to-face over the phone so that you can get to see me. I get to see you. and you know who you're doing business with. That's how I do it. I ain't hiding from nobody. All right. All right. Peace, prosperity, extreme wealth. I'm out of here.